Okay, we're back outside with our hydrangeas. Well, before we talk about that, we actually have a viewer question we need to get to first.
You know, it's a great question. Fall is a great time to, do some pruning before winter sets in. And the question was, they had a heavenly bamboo that was very healthy and had a great fruit set, very heavy fruit set on the plant. It was spectacular.
Yeah.
They have great fall color and the fruit is brilliant red, and they want to know when they can prune it and how hard they can prune it. Now, if it was mine, I would strongly recommend waiting till spring, because when all the leaves are off everything, you're going to see that brilliant red fruit on that plant. So I would literally wait until spring, unless it's in the way somewhere. You're not going to hurt it. But come springtime, if the plant needs to be reduced by 50%, I'd go ahead and do that so it becomes nice, shapely and bushy in the spring.
Yeah.
You know, if that requires taking off all that fruit and some of the limbs and stuff, so be it.
Okay, well, again, we want to thank that viewer for sending in that question. We'll talk about how you can submit your questions in a little bit, but we have our hydrangeas here.
Right, and this is a little early, but this is a hydrangea, this little lime hydrangea, and you can see it's really not little, it's taller than you and I, but from the mother plant it is much smaller, and people always want to know, how much do I prune it, how far back do I prune it? This is one of the hydrangeas that you can prune year round. It blooms on new wood, old wood, so it doesn't really matter, you know, how far back that you prune it. The only reason I suggest, and we're just going to kind of speed things on a little here, is, you know, I'd wait till, you know, geez, we haven't had a freeze yet, really.
So, a little bit. It's like been very close.
Well, if you're a city guy like me, we haven't even seen the whiteness yet on the grass. So anyway, so like if we had a freeze, the foliage and all this would be a little different color right now. I would only wait so that you can enjoy still the flowers on here, but it's not going to hurt it. And I just want to show our viewership, you know, how far back you can prune this and not be concerned that you've killed the plant, because I hear that a lot. Now, one of the things you always want to make sure is you have a good set of pruners, and I'm going to show you one. It's worth the investment. These here are over 25 years old, and they're high quality stainless steel that can be sharpened very easily and keep their edge. So an investment of a good set of pruners is always going to be helpful. So I'm just going to start down in here, and you might not see me, but maybe we get them once I get to this point, I'm going to show you here. We get our camera guy here, and I'm just cutting away. We'll get zoomed in here in a second. I get this opened up, just so our viewership can see how much growth this plant has and how wonderful it bloomed. Now, if you can zoom in here, you can see old cuts from last fall when we did this. Well, look at that.
Yeah, it's grown a lot.
I took 3 to 4 feet, and if you look here, we're about 2 feet off the ground. So that's how hard, you know, I pruned this plant, and it's done quite well. So I just want the viewership to know that you can prune this plant back very hard and still have a great plant next year. You haven't killed it or anything.
Yeah, and you want to show them the angle you were cutting the hydrangeas
if you can see here, it's just habit for me, but see, it's on an angle cut right here, like a 45. It's just habitual for me. That's how I do it. And if you really want to get technical, if you can find what we call a leaf node right here, you can see where this leaf is. If you can cut just above that on an angle, that's the perfect way to make it.
And it's not going to hurt them.
No, I mean, that's the great way.
Well, thank you for showing us those tips. And if you in the Middle Ohio Valley have a question, well, on this full screen right here, you can ask your questions over Facebook, Facebook Messenger, or even send us an email or call us on the number on your screen. But Dave, thank you so much for coming in. Hopefully we'll see you again in a few weeks. We're going to have more on Daybreak right after this.